Hi, in this video I'm going to explain how to set up your printer. So the first thing you need to do is you will go to your control panel. So the control panel is somewhere around here. If you can't navigate it easily, just come to this button, like that, this bottom, your bottom left. Then you select it and type control. So it will give you option for control panel. Then once you click on control panel, then this page will come up. I'll take that again. You go to your bottom left, then you select it like this. Then you come to this empty white space and type control. So you see the option control panel, either this or this. So once you see control panel, you click on it, then it will display this. So once this comes up, you search for device and printer. This is device and printer. So once you click on this device and printer, it will bring up this page. So this page shows you all the printers that are set up on your system. All the printers that you have set up on the system is going to be displayed here. Then the next thing to do is to ensure that your printer is connected to the system. Once your printer is connected to the system like this, you make sure that the power is on as well. This one, the power is on, and the USB is connected to the system. So once it is connected to the system, you will see that this is going to come up. This thing here is going to come up. If it is not connected to the system, this thing will not come up. You can see that it goes off immediately. I disconnect the printer. Then once I connect again, it comes up. So once I connect again, it comes up. Then now, if you want to connect to to install the printer, either the printer is already installed or you are doing fresh installation. If the printer is installed, it's going to be among these printers here. So and it's going to be called maybe 58mm or XP58 or XP80, either of those two. But in my own case now, I want to install the printer from the scratch. But in your own case, you might not need to install the printer from the scratch. So this is the printer software. I'll double click on it. Then I'll allow something to come up. Then once this comes up, all I just need to do is select accept, then click on next. Click on next, create a shortcut, yes, click on next, then I'll allow you to install, then I'll click on finish. So then the next page that will come up is this. In my own case, the window is already selected automatically. Then you will look for 58M. This is a little bit distorted, but then let's see, this is it. This is the printer I want to install. In your own case, it could be 80 auto cut or 58 without the cut. So this is it. This is the printer I'm installing. Then I'll click on it. Then I'll select set default printer. Then I'll click on check USB port. So once I click on this check USB port, automatically it's going to print and it's going to tell me the port number. So you can see that this is the port that is assigned to this system. That's USB 003. So you memorize that, then you click on OK. Then you can now continue with your installation. Don't forget, the first thing I did was to select the printer name, which is XP58 in my case. Then I check this set default printer. Then I click on this check USB port. Immediately I click on this check USB port, it's printed and gave me the USB port that my printer is installed on. So I'll click OK, then I'll click install. So then I can give you some minutes. It's asking, do you want to configure your printer now? I'll click on yes. So then it will now bring up this page for me. On this page, I have the option to now set the port that it was given to me. So this is the port here, this port here. If I click on this port, it gives me the ports, all the list of the port on the system. Now scroll down to my USB 003, the one that it told me when I was doing the installation. So this is the USB port, this one, 003. Then I can now click on apply. Then I can go back to my general tab. I was on port tab. Then I'll go back to my general tab and select print test page. So once I click on this print test page, you can see automatically it's printed. Then I can now click OK. Then I'll go back to my control panel, which is the page that I opened earlier. If you still don't know how to go back to this page, all you just need to do is come here, down here by your bottom left, type control, select control panel, then look for device and printer. This is device and printer. Device and printer. This one here. This one here. Then I can click on this. Then I can come to what's it called? Then I can come to this. You can see that this printer is already installed for me now. This is XP58. So on this XP58, I can right click on it and say you could just leave it this way actually, and you can set it as default printer. So if I'm setting it as default printer, this is, I think it's already set as default printer even. Okay, so once it is set, it will give you this green. I right click on it, I say set as default printer, then it gives me this green like tick. So this is the only default printer I have on this system. Though this is not so necessary, this setting it up as default printer is not so necessary. So you can leave it, you can just, the most important thing is that it's installed. Then I could want to check my test printing. So if I want to check my test printer, all I just need to do is right click on it and click on property. You can see that there are two different properties here. There's printer property and there's another property. So don't make mistake, it is this property that you are checking, this one. So once I click on check property, then I can click on port. I can click on general printing. I'll just leave it at this general printing and say print test. So, and you know, my test page will come up. So in your own case, that you might not really need to install the printer from scratch the way I installed it. Once this page comes up, just confirm that the USB printing support is connected, is up. You understand? This thing, make sure that it's up, because if I remove my printer, it goes off. That means the printer is not even connected to the system at all, and that's the reason why this is a gray color. It's not as bold as these other ones. So you can see that it's gray color. But once I connect my printer back, you can see that this is now up. This shows that yes, I have the printer connected to the system. Then this is the printer itself. Then I can right click and say printer testing. Then I can test my printer, you know, printer property. Then I'll say print test page. So if the printer is successful or is connected or everything is fine, it automatically test page is going to come up on the screen. Then but if it does not print test page, most likely the problem is going to be from the port settings here. So if you click on the port settings here, you might want to look for the appropriate port that you want to assign to the printer. So I might decide that I want to change it to port 2. I can decide that I want to change it to port 1 or port 3. You understand? So the ports really matters, you know, in this case. So but in this case I'm using port 3 and everything is fine. So then the next thing to do in this case now is to attach the printer to my software. So on my sales page, there's a printer settings on my sales page, this print settings. So when you click on it and you find out that this is blank, or maybe the printer that was added is not even okay enough, because if it is okay, when you make sales, it's automatically supposed to print. Then I can re-add the printer. So I'll just select the printer name, which is the same name that is here, because here it could be copy 1, it could be XP58 copy 1. So that same name is what I'm going to come here to attach to my system. So I just come here on my sales page, select the printer settings, then come to this part and select XP printer, then come here and select 58 mm, because this is the paper type. Sometimes it could be 80 mm, but in this case now by selecting 58 mm, that's after selecting the printer name. You select this, then you select the number of copies you want it to print. You enter it rather. So I'm printing just 1 copy. Then I'll click on this save here. Then now you can see that it has dropped down to the page. So when you make sales now, automatically it's going to print your sales. Then another thing you need to understand is that if I make sales now, automatically it should print my sales. But another thing you need to understand is that if you are planning the printer from scratch, There are cases where you want to delete the existing printer because it was not printing, then re-add your own. Re-add the new printer that you just installed or that you just configured. So once it's added, it's going to be under here, and if you want to delete it, you just right click on it and click delete. And that will be the end for this video.